things about the world that are intriguing. How short, how tall, how big, and how small people really are. Yes, people are fascinating, and twins are probably one of those wonders of the world that shows us just how amazing things can be. If you're like most people, when twins walk by, you definitely notice. In terms of history, the first set of documented twins were Jacob and Esau. Genesis 25:23-26 says, "And the Lord said to her, 2 nations are in your womb. 2 peoples shall be separated from your body. 1 people shall be stronger than the other, and the older shall serve the younger." So when her days were fulfilled for her to give birth, indeed there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red. He was like a hairy garment all over. So they called his name Esau. Afterward, his brother came out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heels. So his name was called Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when she bore them. While twins have been fascinating throughout time, there have been episodes in history where the fascination turned dark. Dr. Mengele, known as Dr. Death, was a German officer and physician who conducted human experiments on Jewish twins from 1943 until 1945. Dr. Mengele used as many as 1,000 sets of twins as subjects in his experiments. Only 200 sets of twins survived. Mengele never stood trial for his war crimes. He escaped to Brazil and died of a stroke while swimming. From 1960 until 1980, Dr. Peter Neubauer and Viola Bernard conducted research on twins who were separated at birth and adopted by unknowing families who were unaware that they were twins. The twins were also unaware they were twins. The study began with 4 sets of twins and 1 set of triplets. As the study went on, one of the sets of twins and the triplets dropped out of the study. The group that commissioned the study was permitted to have the records sealed and maintained in the Yale University Library. The results of this study were so controversial they were never published and cannot be unsealed until October the 25th, 2065. So if someone asked you if you knew the difference between identical and fraternal twins, would you know? Well, sit back as Ms. Wust explains the difference.
Now let's talk about twins. There's 2 types of twins. Identical twins and fraternal twins. Identical twins is this picture. We have a zygote, a fertilized egg cell, and it divides, okay? But accidentally, somewhere during that division, when it is 4, or when it is 8, or when it is 16, or when it is 32, somehow that clump of cells breaks off into 2 clumps of cells. And since nothing is specialized yet, there's no blood cells, there's no bone cells, there's no brain cells, that doesn't really matter. And so those 2 clumps of cells then separately develop into 2 babies. But they have identical DNA because they came from 1 egg cell. So they're kind of like clones. Fraternal twins, accidentally 2 egg cells were ovulated during ovulation, and each egg cell was fertilized by its own sperm cell. So you get 2 developments of 2 separate babies, all totally separate developments from the start. So because it's 2 separate developments of 2 separate babies, they have each their own unique combination of DNA. And that means that the 2 babies will now develop into 2 different human beings that don't even have to look so much alike. In fact, they don't even have to be the same gender. One could be a boy, one could be a girl, because being a boy or a girl, it's also defined in your DNA. However, when you are identical twins, you're always either 2 boys or 2 girls because it came from that one dividing nucleus, that one dividing egg cell.
I'm glad Miss Wust explained that. Hopefully it's clear. But now let's take a sneak peek at America's darlings, the McClure twins. I just love them.
Do you have the same face?
Yes.
That means you're identical twins.
Yes.
Which one of you two is older? Who's older?
Me.
Lexi, are you older? No, no, Ava's older than you. She's just 1 minute older.
I'm just 1 minute older. I'm just 1 minute older. That's it. I'm just 1 minute older.
Okay, now we're going to try to answer the question, do twins have telepathic abilities? And we're going to see a really interesting demonstration from the Stokes twins.
So today, we're going to be taking a real twin telepathy test. So we thought it'd be interesting to see which pair of twins had the better telepathic connection, I guess. I know we have a pretty strong twin telepathy connection, and we wanted to see if that was the case with other twins. And so basically, it's going to be us versus them. So we're getting ready for round one, and we have the dividers set up. They're set up so we can't see each other.
Alrighty guys, round one. Close your eyes. Alright, you guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alrighty, open your eyes.
Oh, canned food. Wait, canned food. I think I know what I'm gonna pick.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I know.
Okay, is everyone ready?
Yes.
Okay, on three, we're gonna all hold it up, okay? Alright, 1, 2, 3. Okay, what'd you pick, Alan? What'd you pick? I got corn.
Not too high.
I picked corn. Did you really? I picked corn. Wait, what did you guys pick?
Nina, what'd you get? Beans. Pinot beans. Yeah, seriously?
What? You cheated! Wait, what? The score's 1-1. No, I picked corn because I was like, I know he's gonna pick corn. So, Sam would have picked pinto beans, but then I was like, no, he's gonna pick corn. Now that's real twin telepathy. Oh my gosh. Alright, so the score is 1-1, and we're gonna get ready for round two.
Alright guys, round two. Close your eyes.
Alright.
Alright, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Alright, open those eyes.
Okay,
Oh,
Pinot.
chocolate! Oh, okay.
Easy.
I already know what I'm gonna pick. Dang, I know you're not gonna go with one of them, but I don't know which one you would pick. You know which one I would pick. Okay. Let's just, you know what? How about this? I feel like you shouldn't be able to communicate with the other person. Yeah. No, here's the thing. The Stokes twins are gonna do it right, but the Morego twins are probably gonna try to cheat. Are you guys ready? All right. 3, 2, 1.
What do you have, Nina?
What do you have, Alex?
Hershey's.
1, 2, 3. Hershey's.
Yeah.
Yeah! No! Alex, I eat Snickers ice cream all the time. But you know I like Hershey's better. Why do you like Hershey's? I knew you were gonna pick Snickers, but I didn't pick Snickers because I thought you were gonna pick the Hershey's instead. Bro.
Round three. Close your eyes.
Okay.
Alright guys, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, open your eyes.
Cool.
Ooh. This
Okay.
is easy.
I already know what I'm gonna pick. Okay. Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Ketchup. Really?
I picked ranch. You freaking. Wait, did you actually pick ranch? Yes, I did. I didn't know you liked ketchup. I thought you liked ranch. I have never willingly eaten ranch in my life. I thought you liked. What do I get every time I go to a fast food restaurant, Alan? Well, I was saying, can I get some ketchup with that? Sean, you would have picked ranch, right?
I would have picked ranch.
Inside joke, bro. I was thinking that. Let's move on to round 4. This time it's gonna be different. All right.
Alright guys, round four. You guys ready?
All right.
Close those eyes.
Okay. All right.
Alright, you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Alright, open your eyes.
Oh.
Oh, this is hard. This is a hard one.
Okay. All right. Y'all ready? I think I know what I want. Okay. Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready. 2, 1.
Skittles.
Skittles. Skittles. Skittles. Skittles. We all get Skittles. Skittles.
Right.
Wait. What's that? It's 4-2. They haven't missed anything yet. Wait.
While there are no quantitative studies to validate twin telepathy, qualitative data from identical twin interviews details numerous accounts of these special abilities. I think out of all the twin stories, the Jim twins is probably one of the saddest. They were separated at birth. They were reunited after 39 years. Their similarities could only be described as remarkable and amazing. They both were married twice. Their first wives had the same names, so did their second wives. They gave their children the same names, their pets the same names. They were heavy smoker, smoked the same brand cigarettes. Both had wood shops in the garage, same profession, and bit their nails. Research has always tried to answer that question, how much of who we are is from nature versus nurture. And I think the Plomin research done in the UK pretty much answers that question, the impact that genetics has on who we are. Had 95% influence on eye color, 80% on height, 70% on weight, 70% if you were going to have ulcers, 60% on your school achievement, 60% of your verbal ability, and 40% of your personality. You know, there was a common saying around old folks when you would bring someone over and they would ask, "Who are their people?" Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Michelle, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Tap Talks. And today, our subject is going to be Twins Decoded. And my guest today is Eva Sambathi, artist, author, mother, wife. Did I cover everything? I think your role.
You did. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah, you covered it all. I'm foremost a mother of four. I have 5 grandchildren, and it wasn't until about 5 years ago that I became an author. And right now I have about 6 books out there, which is crazy because I was never a great English major, but that's just something that I learned to do about 5 years ago, and I absolutely love it.
Wonderful. Well, I'm glad that you chose to be with us today. And I want to talk about something that I know is very dear to your heart. Today, we're talking about Twins Decoded. And I guess, I'll start with my questions. And probably one of the major questions I have, the audience understands we're talking about twins, but you're here alone on the set. Do you want to talk to everyone about why you're on the set alone?
Oh, you're gonna make me bring a tear already. It's actually been 5 years to this week, to the day that we found out, me and my sister Neva, that we were about to battle something that we had never battled, and found out that she was terminal with cancer. And so exactly 5 years this week, we found out it was terminal, and she battled for a little bit, and I lost her March 13th of 2017 to cancer.
So you are now what industry calls, or nationally, there is a term called a twinless twin. Let's talk about Neva. I want to talk about Neva, and we'll come back to that because I think it's important for you to give me and the audience a sense of what it's like to be a twin. Talk about your best friend, or just tell us about what that's like.
Well, a twin is your best friend. I mean, I was lucky enough to have a best friend for 48 years and 9 months. I say 9 months because even in the womb, babies learn their sense of touch and learn their sense of hearing. And, I got to do that starting earlier than everybody else. But yeah, for 48 years, I had a best friend. She was someone that you could talk to about the good things in life. I could go to her right away with the sad things, just like a normal best friend, but so much deeper. I mean, we didn't even need to call each other sometimes to know that we needed each other. So I got 48 years of someone that absolutely knew you and would never pass judgment, who'd be there loving you no matter what. So I felt pretty lucky to have that.
Wow. Okay. So I know that the loss of someone you love is difficult, and I think people handle grief in different ways. Describe for me, is that loss even more significant when it's your twin?
I believe it is, because twins are born a part of something. You're born, just like me, you're born the twins. When someone sees them, they're always, oohing over the twins or the girls, or even your friends know you as Eva and Neva. So you're always a part of something. And when you lose that part of something, you almost don't know how to exist. That's where I was. I didn't really know who I was after I lost Neva, because I had always been the twins or the girls. And so losing someone that close to you or part of your soul was really difficult. It's hard to understand who you are after that.
Wow. So that's interesting. You say that people called you the twins. So is that commonplace? Instead of Eva and Neva, you were just the twins, and you just answered to that?
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't even recall the first time that I was ever an individual. It's really interesting because I think about that all the time. When someone, even 30 years later, high school friends come up and go, "Hey, Eva, where's Neva?" Or "How are you girls doing?" It's never, "Hey, Eva, how are you?" So it's never an individual thing.
Well, let's talk about that because I think your lives obviously were intertwined. So I actually was curious. Did you have the same friends, likes, dislikes, opinion? Did people expect you to be alike and not just look alike? Kind of describe that for me.
Absolutely. We did have the same friends. It was a small town, so we didn't have a lot of options, but we were dressed alike when we were little. And there were 4 girls in our family. So our parents kind of tended to put us in things together. Like we played soccer together. Neva was an amazing athlete. I was not. I wanted to dance and do ballet. So I self-taught myself to do those things, but was always forced to do, things that the other girls did. So yeah, we were very much expected to be similar, and it wasn't really until high school that we started reaching out into our own, little things. Right out of high school, she went into the Army, and then I decided to go into school and become a mother. So it wasn't until we were adults that we actually learned who we were a little bit different.
Wow, that's interesting you say that one. So everybody in the audience, I hope you're listening because I think that's a misnomer that twins may have the exact same talents, the exact same likes. You're two unique human beings.
Yeah, we just didn't know it,
You
because
just
everybody was telling us that, you're twins, you do the same. So yeah, it's interesting.
Well, if anybody, if I got any readers out there, there's a book that you authored and it's called A Me Without We. And it's a powerful book. And I have to tell you, it was very difficult for me to read some parts of the book because you're very open about that wound that was in your heart after you lost your sister. So if you could tell us that bond, because you even talk about that bond even after death, can you describe and explain that to people?
Yeah, it is. That twin bond is something that's it's hard to explain. I'm one of the lucky ones. I'm identical. So every day I look in the mirror, I get to see part of her. So that really, I'm lucky for that. A lot of twins are boy girl twins. They don't get that joy or that memory, so, but I do, I get to touch her in that way, but it's more than just that. We shared so many our first step, our first words, every first in life, I shared with her. And so when I was grieving, one of the first things that we tend to do when we grieve is to focus on the death, focus on, okay, Neva died or she's not here any longer. So I learned early in my grief to try to focus on a memory to keep her alive. So now when that pops up, and it still does, it seems like every week something will happen and I want to call her, or I'll pass by her picture in the hallway and I'll, oh my goodness, she's not here. Well, I force myself to think of a memory, to remember her, to keep that bond alive instead of remembering that she's not here. And that's what I think about when I say that in the book, that she'll always be with me because I'm going to always remember her memory. I'm not going to remember that she's not here. So I hope that helps other people.
Well, I know it will, because I think, like you said, it's an interesting thing that every time you look in the mirror, you're reminded and you see her. And you're right, that is a gift that many people don't have. So let's talk about the novelty of twins. I know, there's been an explosion of people having more twins now because of technology. People can actually go to a obstetrician and order twins if they want, have twins. And we've seen, octuplets, sextuplets. We've seen everything in terms of people want to have multiple births. But what would you tell someone if they're thinking, oh, that's just novel? What would you talk to them about that they truly understand what they're taking on when they have a multiple birth?
Oh goodness. I don't know. I don't think anybody can really prepare for a multiple birth. I know several people that have gone through infertility and treatments. So really the occurrence of those multiple births aren't as often as they used to be. They used to be really bad when the whole technology came out. But right now the focus of the technology is really implanting one embryo. So even if they're just getting, or they get twins when they're just intending one, I think the excitement is there in the beginning, but I don't honestly think anybody, whether it's one or twins, prepares for how difficult it's going to be, because it's difficult with just one baby. I do imagine having two makes it even more difficult. And I don't know how my mom did it, but I don't think people focus on that, especially those going through infertility. I think they're focused on, having the family and giving birth, hopefully they're not focused on any type of novelty that I just can't imagine.
Wonderful. Well, it is, even now, even though it's more commonplace, I think when you see twins, you just tend to look and when they're identical, because I have some nieces that are identical twins. And I think, wow, you know them apart. I mean, once they're a family member, you actually do know them apart, but it's interesting. You always have that feeling you couldn't tell them apart. But when you're close to them, you can, because there are differences. I think people just have to take the time to get to know them. So what's your fondest memory of Neva?
Oh gosh, there's so many. I honestly don't know that I could pinpoint one. There's just so many. Like I said, everything we've ever experienced in life, we experienced together. But probably my best memories are the ones, like I told you, that twin bond that you don't know that's there, that you know to pick up the phone and call. Those are some of the funnest moments, because just like before we found out Neva's cancer was terminal, it was Thanksgiving that I called her, because when we haven't lived in the same city in years, and it was Thanksgiving in 2016 that I called her, and she said, happy Thanksgiving, like we always do. And then she broke the news that she had been to the doctor. And I knew from her voice, she was the strong one out of us, and she was trying to keep it strong. I knew from her voice that something was up. And so I looked at my husband and said, I gotta go. Got in my car and drove 18 hours to be with her the Friday after. So we knew, what we were facing. But it's just stuff like that. I know that's kind of a sad memory, but it's that intuition that twins have is the best memory. It's the best gift that twins have.
It's interesting, because I did read you made that drive many times, and it just sounded like when she needed you, it was like, I'm on the way. I mean, it's astounding how you felt, I need to be there for her, and you were. Yeah. And I think that, to me, was just what was so powerful about your story, that you were there until the end, the absolute very end.
Yeah, we shared some really beautiful memories towards the end, and of course it was devastating, but just some of the crazy memories that we had in those last few weeks, and the way she kept her spirit up. She was the strong one. I always tell everybody she was the strong one, and she showed it, to the end. And so it was incredible, an incredible journey. And I'm glad I have a better outlook on it now. Of course, it was really sad at first, but now I just look at those memories and the joy instead of her not being here.
Well, if there's somebody watching today and they're a twinless twin, what advice would you give them?
Well, like I said, the first 6 months were tough. I don't think there's anybody that can say anything to you when you're hurting that badly. And that first 6 months were tough. I had my husband and my kids, and I had my grandkids. I was surrounded by everybody. And that wasn't enough for me. I was missing her so much. I imagine it's the same with anybody that suffered a complicated grief, or the first time they've lost someone they love. It's very hard to understand where your mind is. Your mental health takes a toll. You have really good days and you have really bad days. And so for me, I would like to tell someone, it is a roller coaster. You're going to have high days and you're going to have really low days, and know that it's coming and then it's going to go away. You just got to cry it out. You got to get it out of your system and don't hold it in. Find support groups that are like you. That was one of the best things I did, was find a support group for the twinless twins. And that was people who really understood what I was going through. So that's it. Just ride that wave and know that it's going to get better. It's not always going to stay low. I'm 5 years into it and I still have that roller coaster. It's not as bad as it used to be, but I've learned to deal with it and try to grow through that grief. So I hope that they can too.
Well, your book is fascinating. And again, I would tell people, a me without we. And I think one of the things that I found most interesting about the book is because you do include other stories of other twinless twins. So you have created a community. And I think what I found so fascinating is that even when the death of the other twin was in utero, or it was shortly thereafter, I believe there was a set in here, they were 10 months old, that living twin still felt that bond and still felt that loss. And I just thought that was fascinating because of the bond that's actually formed in the womb.
Absolutely.
And it was really no different. It was really no different for some of them. And I was just fascinated by that.
Yeah, I am too. I learned that through my journey too. And one of the twins in the book, she had lost her twin before. I mean, before it was I can't remember what they called it, but she absorbed the twin.
Yes.
So, and then she became an adult. And when she had a child, she said she felt the presence of her twin in that room, someone she'd never met. And so to me, that bond is so incredible. It is just so hard to understand, but it's incredible.
Well, Eva, you are incredible. I think that this book will help a lot of people. I know it's helped a lot of people. And you certainly brought a lot of people together in your book with their stories. I always give my guests the last word. What do you want to leave us with?
Well, thank you for having me. But again, to those that are really, really hurting, just try to think of the good memories instead of the fact that your loved one's not here. Focus on those good times that you had with them and the memories, and that will make it a little bit easier to get through.
Thank you, Eva. Again, everybody, a Me Without We by Eva Sambach.
Thank you.
Thank you.